Watu wa mashamba, nyinyi ambao mnauza mashamba, leo nimewafikia. I have documented a number of issues. Ziko hapa. So utakuwa unaona saa zingine nikigeuka pande hii. It's because I'm reading a problem so that I can be able to explain to you the challenges you are facing, and so that you can connect with the kind of product that you have built for you guys. Number one, difficulty in tracking land acquisition and subdivision. Most of the time you guys go, you buy land in a big chunk, and then you subdivide the land and you sell. Now, this one big piece of land you have, you need to track its documentation from title deeds to, you know, the documents, you guys. There needs to be a way that you track these things, because the moment you have them in a file or in some kind of an Excel, getting to them becomes difficult. If you have a product ambayo you can open that one place and you find all documentation regarding that one project, that is going to be easy. So we have built a product where you can manage each and every piece of these things or lands as a project, and that way you are able to track its profitability, its expenses, its incomes, and therefore you know what margins you are making from that one project. Number two, legal approvals and documentations. Of course, these ones ni kama tu nishaguzia. Once you have this big piece of land, there is a number of legalities that you need to put in consideration, from its documentation to other things that you need to do, for example, approvals, to payment of maybe land rates and all those kind of things. You need those things managed in one place. Number three, record keeping. So keeping records of available reserved and sold plots. Ukisha subdivide this stuff, say for example you get 80 pieces of plots from one land, or call it one project. How do you track which ones have been sold, which ones have been reserved, which ones are still available? That is not going to be easy if you don't have a nice product. So our product resolves that. The other thing, errors in pricing. Of course, if you are managing a number of projects, there could be mix up in pricing. Unaambia mtu bei ya Naivasha unampatia bei ya Matu. So when you have these things documented, system itaweza kukupatia. You just open it and you check. A customer is interested in the Naivasha product, so you go in and you know the price from wherever you are, hata kwa simu yako. The other thing, lack of automation in title deed transfers. Now, mtu akisha kuja amenunua shamba, how is this land going to get to the customer? And how are you going to, well, not land moving, you know, nimesema ni kama land ita move, not like that. There's this documentation you need to give to the customer. The main one is the title deed. You need to track the status of these documents. So hii nishapatiana, hii bado sijapatiana, hii bado iko kwa approval. All those things can be managed with a system. You don't have to fill up the space in your brain with that kind of information. We have a solution for that, guys. The other one ni wale ma sales agents uko nao. Of course, you have those guys that go out there and chapa job wakiuza mashamba. How do you pay their commissions? Tracking those commissions is sometimes not very easy, but with the platform we have now, it is easy. The other thing, inefficient, and by the way, remember that ukitrack hizi ma commissions, inaweza kuwa commission unaitreat kama expense, ama unaitreat however you want to treat it. Remember I told you that the moment you have this thing managed as a project, you can record the value of the project, you can record the expected amount you want from this project, and therefore the system can even give you the price you need to sell each piece, each subdivided plot. And then from there you can start tracking expenses. Umepeleka watu kwa shamba, you can track that as an expense. Umetuma mtu anduthi ameleta title deed, hiyo ni expense, you record it. At the end of the day, you know, kwa hii shamba nilinunua hii shamba 1.5 million, nimeuza nikapata 4 million, so my gross profit is something to do with maybe 2.5, and then you go ahead and subtract the expenses. And remember, you are not doing this with an Excel or a calculator. Ni report una pull from the system. So those things have already been taken care of. Share record expenses, system inakwambia how much you are making. So these commissions za the sales people, you can also track them in the system. Monitoring expenses and profitability nishasema. Then the other thing, capability for people to reserve land. I know hii ni kitu inaweza kuwa maybe most of you don't have. Customer anaweza kuja leo akwambie hiyo project uko nayo mazini ni interesting sana. I would like to reserve a piece of land. I don't have the whole deposit of 500,000, but I have 100k. So take it, reserve me a plot. Allow the customer to do that. And then the system is going to track. So you are going to tell the customer, I will allow you to pay the balance in 2 weeks. So the system is going to do that for you. Imagine if you don't have a system and then you are trying to track those things from 10 guys and each of them have different dates. You're going to lose it. You will not remember who is supposed to pay on what date. So hii kitu inakusaidia and it will send you SMSs every time a payment is due. It's going to tell you that there is this and this customer who was supposed to pay today. Also ukilogin kwa dashboard yako, you'll be able to see which ones are due to be paid today. And then also customer akiwa kule ako ata remindiwa, please remember that you are supposed to make this and this payment. So if you don't make it, remember that you are going to lose 10% of the money you left us, and therefore please we remind you to make this payment. And the last thing, because hiyo ndio nimekuwa nikizungumzia hapa mwisho, ni reminders. Customer akisha kuja ameweka deposit, unaruhusu watu walipe maybe a deposit of 50% and then pay the balance in maybe 6 months. And when you do that, the system will automatically compute how much they expect the customer to pay per month. So the customer can also decide I want to pay per month, or you can agree on the terms, and then you put that information in the system. The system will automatically track that. So it will be reminding the customer, hey, Karani, please remember that on next week you have a payment of 25,000 that you are supposed to be making. When the date closes nearer, and the customer has not yet paid, they will get another reminder. Pia wewe as the manager or as an accountant, kwa dashboard yako, you will be able to know which payments are going to be due next week, which payments are due today, which payments are overdue, so that you can maybe take an extra step to follow up with that payment. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to make a movie out of a video. This is the solution we have for people doing land. So please, if you are there and you are selling land and you have been suffering, call us. I will make sure I will leave my number on the comment section below. Call us, write us an email, send us a WhatsApp message. Let's streamline business. Cheers.